Happy has a very different ending from the book. Instead of having Hardin and Tessa end up together and fast forwarding to the future together, it almost suggests that they broke up for good after Tessa leaves Hardin's book signing. That there's going to be a sequel, and the sequel is going to focus on their children, so that suggests that they do end up together. So I was asking you, what were your thoughts and interpretation of the ending?
Yeah, I mean, I was obviously quite kind of like shocked initially, but then I also quite liked the aspect of leaving bits up to interpretation. And I think the most honest answer I can give is I'm enjoying the ability to, as an actor, hide behind the decisions that the producers and the higher-ups and directors make. But it's definitely debatable, but I think that's kind of like the beauty of film sometimes is you get fans who will really think it should have been done one way and fans who think the opposite, and that just shows they care. So yeah, we'll have to see what the wider range of fans think of that ending. But yeah, you're right, it is definitely surprising and different from the books.
Yeah. So from the first film to the end of the fourth, Hardin goes through a complete transformation, including going through a lot of growth in this film specifically. How would you describe Hardin's journey, and do you think that he has a happy ending?
Yeah, I think he does. I mean, it's hard because the books are different from the films, and the film obviously, yeah, it's difficult, but I definitely believe that he does eventually. In my heart, to allow me to sleep at night, he definitely does, yeah.
Love that. You and Joe went through this experience together, of course, and what do you love most about working with him?
What do I love most? Not just to mention that she is so talented and easygoing and easy to work with and on time and polite and great at what she does, but also she does more than just act. She has an eye for the continuity and costume and, you know, the bigger picture, which I think is always important to cover yourself. I think it's important for people to be like that, and she really is. If anything, I probably like learned maybe from her how valuable it is to have someone on set who is doing more than just saying the lines, you know?
Love. And due to the fact that you had to do a lot of intimate scenes, did you establish that trust early on? And did shooting sex scenes get easier over time, or was it always difficult?
No, I think maybe the first 5 minutes of the first one was difficult, but then you quickly realize it's just like any other scene. No one else cares about it as much as you do. There's so many sex scenes in every movie, you know, in this day and age. I know After really does get its numbers up, and there's definitely more sex scenes than most films, but it's a part of the job, and I think it's so important to do things that get you out of your comfort zone so that they are in your comfort zone moving forward, and you don't look at a next script and think, oh God, what am I going to do now? Or like, I'm so worried about this scene. Now it's just kind of, you know, just like any other scene, so.
You're prepared.
Exactly.
Not many under your belt.
Exactly, yeah.
So out of all the films, what was your favorite Hardin and Tessa scene or moment?
Maybe when you said scene, I was thinking of other ones. When you said moment, I definitely think the bit, and I remember thinking this as soon as I read it, the bit in the bath when he writes "I love you" on the back on her back, and she can't guess what it is. I think that is so beautiful. I think that is just such like I think everyone's done that game if it was their parents when they were young or like whatever, where you draw a letter on someone's back. I really like that bit. That's probably my favorite moment. Yeah.
That's a very good answer. It's a very, very sweet moment. I love that that was your favorite moment. And what do you think makes their love story so special?
I think it's the same reason that people try and, you know, draw out some answer from me or Anna, whoever they ask, about whether the relationship is toxic. I think it's the fact that it requires so much work. And it might be too draining in reality, but what makes it so special on screen is how hard they have to try to make it work. And it's that if you want something great, sometimes these things take time and effort. And yeah, I think it's a double-edged sword, because what makes their relationship so challenging is also what makes it so perfect if they can overcome those challenges.
Yeah, and it's more realistic.
Yeah, no, definitely.
It's not easy.
Yeah, and they're such different people, but they're so similar in other ways, which I think is also so relatable. I think when you really look at relationships and people in relationships, there's obviously similarities that they have, but the differences kind of become heightened, and I think it does a good I think the characters are really well balanced in how they're portrayed in that way.
Well, after 3 in this film were shot back to back, did you shoot the films chronologically in order?
No, I think it was literally, this is why I struggle in these interviews to like, when people say like, so what bit in 3 or 4? And I'm like, wait, hold on a minute. Because yeah, we shot 3 and 4 together as one long movie, but obviously out of order. So there was probably a scene that happens at the start of 3 that we filmed at the end, and a scene that happens at the start of 4 that we filmed at the start. But obviously now, like 2 years on from filming, we've done the press for number 3. Yeah, honestly, it's a bit of a challenge. But I think that was the best way to do it logistically, to film 3 and 4 back to back in that way. And it was good in the way that we kind of like got the momentum going. So like that towards the end, you really felt like you had some steam behind you.
What was the last scene to film, and what was it like when they called cut for the final time?
To be honest, I think we were always expecting it to be sad, and by the time it came, we'd spent 3 months filming in lockdown in Bulgaria. I say Bulgaria, it was more just in a hotel in Bulgaria because the COVID regulations were pretty strict. So I think everyone, it was definitely bittersweet, but everyone was kind of happy to get home and have a rest. But you know, it was probably like 2-3 weeks later for everyone else. They were like, wow, I can't believe we're done. But then we come back and we do press, and then we go home for a bit, and then we come back and do press again. And it's been like a nice, long, slow, gradual goodbye. So it hasn't been like a ball drop that's really shaken us up. I think it's been nice that we've been prepared for it.